So, hello friends. So, I'll be talking on this very important topic. India is starting the vaccination from 16th of Jan. So, as you see, we are talking about this particular article which talks about Chadox vaccine, so which is the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine. And this was the results of the trial that they conducted, which came out in Lancet. It came out on 8th December 2020. So we are talking about this article on 11th Jan, and India is rolling out this vaccine on 16th Jan 2020. So the title of this, which came in Lancet, is Safety and Efficacy of the ChAdOx 1 novel coronavirus 19 vaccine against SARS-CoV-2, an interim analysis of four randomized controlled trials in Brazil, South Africa, and the UK. So this was the trial. So before I start off, I request every listener to please read this whole trial because it's very important to understand the data that they have generated from this study in these three countries. And now you see in every media there is a talk on this vaccine. So it is important for all the scientific community to understand how this trial was conducted and what were the primary findings of this particular study. So it is extremely important for at least the doctors and the scientific community to understand the results of this study. So that is the intent of this narrative. So to give the background, there are currently 63 vaccines globally which are under evaluation now. So in course of time, you would see many vaccines that would make their foray. And right now in India, we are talking about two vaccines that will be rolled out from 16 Jan. One is the Covishield, which is this ChAdOx vaccine or the Oxford and AstraZeneca collaborated vaccine, and another one is Covaxin. So right now there are 11 vaccines globally which are in phase 3 trials. So right now as I'm speaking, there are three vaccines which have completed phase 3. So one is the Moderna, the Pfizer, and this particular ChAdOx vaccine or the Covishield, whatever we call. So the Covaxin also, I'm told, we are all told that it would see completion in few weeks time. So the I'll talk as Covishield, whatever AstraZeneca and Oxford generated vaccine, the Covishield, which our Serum Institute of India is rolling out. It's a viral vector vaccine. So I have spoken in the previous narrative on overview of vaccines. So this Covishield, which is being rolled out on 16th Jan 2021, is a viral vector vaccine. So what that means is the viral components of this coronavirus, which is typically known to induce all the damage, is all the spike proteins. So basically, they have taken the glycoprotein of the spike protein and they have inserted into chimpanzee adenovirus vaccine, so which is uh, harmless virus. So they introduced this material from the coronavirus into chimpanzee adenovirus, and this is injected or this is made into a vaccine, which is known to induce immunogenicity in an individual, and this is a harmless viral vector. So that the carrier is the chimpanzee adenovirus, but the content of this would be the genetic material or the spike protein, which would be inserted into this viral vector. So this is the sort of a science behind this Covishield. And as we know, the University of Oxford, in collaboration with AstraZeneca, has come out with this vaccine, and Serum Institute of India is producing this in a large scale, and it is called Covishield in our country. Uh, and the phase 3 of this has completed, and whatever we talk today is the phase 3 findings in Lancet that came out in 8 December 2020. So basically, this particular study was done across three countries. It was done in UK, Brazil, and South Africa. So I've read this whole manuscript two, three times, the Lancet article. So you don't see a mention of India at all in this article. So that is one point which intrigued me because we were told that India also is part of the trial, but at least going through what you read in the manuscript, there's no mention of our country in this particular trial, at least what I have read. So the study was mainly done across these three countries. So it was a 1:1 randomized trial. So comparing this ChAdOx 1 vaccine versus the control group, and the intent was to see the primary efficacy was to see prevention of COVID infection in the patients who got this vaccine in comparison to the controls who did not get the vaccine. And they looked at the efficacy rate. So this is a very important thing I want audience to just put little attention. So they gave two doses when they did this trial. So this is something which is very important for everyone to note, because they gave one dose called as standard dose. The standard dose constituted 5 into 10 to the power of 10 viral particles. And there was another group which got the low dose, which they called as LD, which was half of it. So they had 2.2 into 10 to the power of 10 viral particles in them. So they used two doses. So this is very important for every listener to bear in mind. The reason why I am emphasizing on this is because the outcomes were distinctly different between these two doses when they interpreted the results. So what did they find in the study? So the study was done between 23rd April 2020 to 4th November 2020. And here the number of patients included across 3 countries was 23,848. But this is also another interesting thing. When you read this article, I urge every listener to read this article that's come in Lancet. So the protocol amendments are made multiple times throughout the study. So that is also we have to look at as a limitation, because they have done a lot of amendments to the protocols during the conduct of this particular trial. And if you see, when they had to analyze the results, only half of the patients were taken for interim analysis. So for any intensivist who is listening to this and who swear by evidence base, so these would constitute important limitations of any study methodology, where the whole data is not analyzed and interim analysis is done only with half of the patients. And there's a lot of protocol amendments that keep happening throughout the course of the study, would be viewed by any scientifically driven doctor as important limitations of any study. So this also I would consider it as a limitation. And 7,548 patients which was taken for interim analysis were from UK, and 4,088 patients that were analyzed were from Brazil. So all the patients that were recruited from South Africa, they were not part of the interim analysis that came out in this particular paper. So the age group of the patient was 18 to 55 years. So the predominant number of patients, 87.8% of the patients, belong to this age group, 18 to 55, which again means to say the elderly people were sort of excluded, isn't it? You would think. Now what we have realized in COVID is the most vulnerable are elderly people more than 65, and here this trial has taken more of younger individuals, 18 to 55, and only 12.2% were constituted more than 56 years. So this is also another finding which you can ponder about. And again, this was surprising to me. If you look at global statistics over last 11 months of the COVID, the predominant people who were affected were males. So here, if you look at this particular trial, the predominant recruits into this trial were females. 60.5% were females. Because we look at any data, including our Indian data, the predominant gender that was affected was males. But here they have decided to vaccinate more of female gender. So that also is a bit of a sort of in a divergent sort of a thought process that they had when they did this trial. So now let us look into, I'll straight away jump into the findings of this trial, the efficacy, which is what all of us are interested in, to see how effectively it will prevent us from getting COVID infection. So this is important, just pay a little attention to this. So they had 11,636 patients. They took a group which got first dose as standard dose and the second dose also standard dose. So that's what it means, SD/SD. They got first dose standard dose, which is the full dose, 5.5 into 10 to the power of 10 viral particles, or 5 into 10 to the power of 10 viral particles as a first dose, and they got a booster dose also, the same dose. So the efficacy of this vaccine was 62.1%. But then they looked at the group which got the low dose as the first dose, which means 2.2 into 10 to the power of 10 viral particles, followed by a booster dose, which was the standard dose. And they found the efficacy was 90%. So this is a very striking finding of this study, which possibly should have a bearing on how we vaccinate our population or our healthcare workers, because the efficacy is significantly better when low dose was used as a first sort of a dose followed by a standard dose. So the reasons for this, even if you read the discussion, is not very clear, but this was the findings they had in this particular study. So when you combine these two, the overall efficacy of this vaccine was 70.4%, which I'm sure all of you are hearing. The efficacy of Covishield is 70.4%, is what every media person is also talking about. But I think when you go into the detailing part of it, I think this is what we need to decipher as to why this remarkable difference of efficacy prevailed between the low dose and the standard dose sort of a regime. And when you look at the serious adverse events, they were sort of similar. 84 patients had serious adverse events in the vaccine group and 91 in the control group. And they've looked at after first day, post 21 days, the need for hospitalization. So after the first dose of vaccination, they followed the patients for 21 days. After 21 days, they looked at how many patients needed hospitalization for COVID. So there they had a merit in vaccination group because none of the patients who were vaccinated were hospitalized, but the 10 patients in the control group were hospitalized due to COVID. And amongst these 10, two had severe COVID and one died. But the vaccine group, none of them were admitted. So this was the merits of this particular study, which has been quoted obviously by different quarters when this Covishield has come out. And when they looked at the overall deaths, one patient had died in vaccinated group as compared to the three patients who died in the control group. But what is interesting to note is the serious adverse events that happened. So when they looked at the adverse events, the three patients, so serious adverse events 84 and 91 in control group, three patients had transverse myelitis. And the first patient had 14 days after the second dose of vaccine, and one patient had 10 days after the first dose of the vaccine, and the other patient had 68 days after the vaccination. So which means to say this, so the complications did arise in patients who had this vaccine, and transverse myelitis is one of the worrying complication, and three of them, and this applies to any of the vaccines, but this vaccine also had this complication. So this is also something which one has to keep in back of mind, that there is a possibility of this dreaded complication of transverse myelitis that can happen. So this is what I want every listener to little pay attention on: dosing and interval dichotomy. So this is very important. So just pay attention. See, when they looked at the group which got low dose as the first dose, followed by a standard dose, the second dose, the booster dose, whatever we say, was given after 12 weeks. So the median was 84 days, which is close to 3 months. So after first dose, only after 3 months later they got the second dose. Okay, and that had a better efficacy of 90%. But the standard dose, which is the full dose, 5 into 10 to the power of 10 viral particles as a first dose, and booster dose was given within 6 weeks, median was 36 days. It means about after a month, the patients got second dose in that full dose. So, and the efficacy was 64%. So, this is also very, very important. So, what I'm trying to say is the whole crux of the study says that the first dose, which was given as a low dose, and the subsequent second dose, which was spaced out 3 months, had a better efficacy as compared to a group which got full dose as a first dose and the booster dose within a month or maybe after a month. So that is what was the striking finding. So this was the table from the manuscript. As you see the low dose and standard dose, the efficacy is 90%, and this is the standard dose, which is 60.3% is the vaccine efficacy. And this is the Kaplan-Meier curve. So as you see, this is the vaccine group with a low dose as the first dose, followed by standard dose, where the efficacy was much better compared to the standard dose and standard dose here. Okay. And so this is another important table from the manuscript which I want you to pay attention. So as you see, see this is the low dose and standard dose. The efficacy is 90%, and as you see, the time frame of the second dose is more than 8 weeks in this. You see here, but you look at the second table here. So this is the first dose which has got the standard dose, which is the full dose, followed by another standard dose. It was given within 6 weeks. If you give within 6 weeks, you see, I want you all to pay attention to 65.6%, where the spacing was more than 8 weeks with the standard dose. But if you space it more than 12 weeks, if you space it within less than 6 weeks, the efficacy dropped to 53.4%. So I want you to pay attention to this, that the longer spacing, even with standard dose, had a better efficacy of 65.6%. But when you bring down the spacing to less than 6 weeks with standard dose, the efficacy had dropped to 53.4%. So this is something which one has to pay attention to. And this is the hospitalization after 21 days. So as you see, less than 21 days, there were 2 patients who needed hospitalization with COVID compared to 6 patients. But after 21 days of the first dose, there was no hospitalization in the vaccinated group as compared to the control group, because control group had more admissions into the hospital. So I request all the listeners to read through this article, and so this is the core essence of this article, which one can derive. The conclusions what I can make at the end of reading this is the efficacy of Covishield, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, which is a vector vaccine, is good at 90% with this sort of a regime. The first dose should be low dose. If you have to subscribe to the evidence that is generated from this trial that has come out in Lancet on 8 December, then the first dose has to be a low dose followed by a standard dose. So that is one important point I want the scientific community to ponder about. The second important point is the spacing of the dosing. The dosing interval, if we have to subscribe to the evidence that is generated from this trial in this paper, the dosing interval has to be 12 weeks, which is 3 months, for efficacy to reach to 90%. If we reduce the dosing interval to less than 6 weeks, we saw the efficacy drops down to 54%, which may not be the ideal thing. So this is an important message from this article, which I want the scientific community to pay attention to, because when the vaccine is rolled out, I am not sure what sort of a regime we are adhering to. Because if you are adhering to standard dose, which is full dose as the first one, followed by the booster with the full dose within or at the end of 30 days, then I would say the vaccine efficacy is only 54%. So otherwise, if you give low dose, or if you give standard dose, full dose, and you space it more than 8 weeks, or you space it to 12 weeks, then the efficacy is 64%. If you give low dose followed by a standard dose and you space it at 3 months, then the efficacy is 90%. So this is the conclusions that I can make from this Lancet article. So when the vaccine is rolled out on 16 Jan 2021, I'm only hoping that we will be able to adopt this strategy to have effective vaccination program, which means to say, as if you have to subscribe to this, we have to give first dose as a half dose. Then after 3 months, the second dose should be given, which should be the full dose. So this is what we could make out from the trial findings. So I would leave it at that. So we could have further deliberation on this. So you can visit my website www.drpradeeprakapa.com. So this is the 41st update. So I'll be talking again on the Covaxin phase 2 study, which the manuscript which I've got. So I'll go through, and possibly in the next couple of days I'll present on Covaxin. So thank you all. So you can visit this to rehear to this lecture. Thank you all.